Okay, let's give the 5 minutes of your attention also to this group, please. Okay, thank you. So now we have the group number 8. And are you ready?
Yeah.
Good. So your 5 minutes starts now.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Mario. This is Bettina and Ritva. We're group number 8, and we came up with this tool called My Life, which is a tool for connecting people. So imagine yourself in a situation where you've just been to a doctor's meeting and you heard that you have Alzheimer's. You're still in the early phase. What you probably want to do next is to call someone, like your best friend, your sister, your brother, your cousin, anyone. And when you talk to them, you sort of sense rejection in what they say. It's like they get frightened of what you're telling them. And later on, when you try to reach them for a cup of coffee, walk in a forest, they ignore you. You either get a text message saying that, okay, I've got something else, now I can't be with you, and well, your cousin doesn't answer your phone call at all. So where you're now is basically, you're still confused about the diagnosis, and you feel that you've lost your old life, partly. Like some of the people have gone. You still are who you are, although wanting to do the stuff you've always enjoyed doing. But with whom?
So here you can see Sirpa. Sirpa gets the information about My Life application from her library. She goes back home, she downloads the My Life application and signs in for the very first time. The application will ask some basic questions by voice control, like what's your name and how old are you? And after the basic information, it starts to ask about your interest, like do you like rock music? And in the background, it plays a little bit of rock music to activate your brain. And after the interest, it will offer you proofs. Proofs that you can interact, communicate, and arrange activity with like-minded people. So, what does My Life application do for memory disorder person? It will offer sense of belonging. It will offer purpose in life, peer support, and sense of self-determination.
And when it comes to Lapinjärvi point of view, it offers a tool for integration of these people into the community, and also a tool for facilitation, meaning that you have volunteers in the community, members of associations, for instance, and they can access to this application, and they have their own interface to that. And also, you want to be a human-centric community, so from our point of view, we support that idea. So basically, what it looks like in the group view, we have Matti, who is the facilitator of the group. This is the group that likes rock music. We have the group members there, and they can leave messages to each other, recording them or even writing, and they can listen to what others have left the messages. I mean, there's voice to text, text to voice ability in that, and also a note section, including reminding system that if they have arranged a meeting together, they get reminders like 1 hour before the meeting.
My Life is designed to persons with memory disorder to be able to live the best time of their life. Thank you.
Okay, now questions.
have more of a perhaps comment. Thank you for your presentation. For me, it feels a bit that you're making some assumptions that are not possibly not totally correct. Like I'm sure that sometimes if you get diagnosed with memory disorders, people kind of leave you, disappear from your life. But from your presentation, it sounds like okay, I get the diagnosis, and then everybody just leaves me, and I need completely new life and new people. But actually, I have one question: where do these new people come from?
Our idea was that this is a tool to connect the people with memory disorder so that they can enjoy life with each others.
So the new people are other people with memory
Other
disorders.
people with memory disorders. Yes. So you can group. The idea came from the interview that we had, and also this that the loss of old life. It's not only the loss of friends, but also you lose your job, you lose your old hobbies, old circles where you have used to do these things, and then you are left quite a little bit alone, step by step. And then also when someone said that you don't really want to put a poster on the wall that, hi, I'm a person with a memory disorder, would you like to hang out with me? But this is, they could find out the like-minded people in same circumstances. Of course, also if you have like an association that is arranging activities, or the activities are arranged there. So this these group activities can be used for those groups to communicate. Also, when they are not with the association, at the premises of the association, it can facilitate your municipality to organize activities for people, and those people who are interested in that kind of activities to hear from them, so that you can communicate with different interest groups and attract them to those activities that are taking place within the municipality, for example.
So I was just thinking that, like you said, that there's this facilitator, but who is he or she? Where? Could you explain a little bit about that, and also like the model who is like monitoring a little bit more about?
Yeah, we were thinking that this would be a tool for the municipality, so that the municipality would arrange a platform. But then the facilitators could be volunteers, they could be members of the memory associations at Alzheimer Association, or they could be the social workers from Wellbeing. So the idea that when you're doing what you're normally doing to activate the people with memory disorder, but this could like bring you information of their interests, find a group together the people with the same kind of interests, and make it easy to communicate and feel like this, have this sense of belonging.
Did you think about at all that? I'm answering at the same time, maybe. Not a good question, but have you thought about that? These possibilities to be in a larger area than only in Wellbeing?
Yes, we thought that this concept could be scaled up. So because it's basically a concept that you can take from one one surrounding to another surrounding. Maybe licensing or selling the platform and the software.
With the feedback.
So, thanks.
And the next group would be number 3.
So, I think that this was a good idea, and I was also thinking that this is opportunity that even though we don't have so many people with memory problems in Helsinki, this is like they can be linked to people outside Helsinki, somewhere else, and she who's sitting here said that when they have memory problems, it doesn't even matter so much who they are talking to because the next minute they forgot who they're talking to. So that way, the main thing that is important is that you have someone. Maybe they could have some interactions also into some kind of live groups when you can actually meet people. Like that could be some kind of phase in this project also. And then that the facilitator is something that I usually think about that we have to give it's not a good way to think about only services that are based on that municipality does something. It's better to think something that we give out something that people can use themselves and facilitate themselves. So you have something else? No? Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you borrow the mic? It's on me. Okay.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
You are. Okay, good. So your 5 minutes starts now.
Good morning. We're Team Bloody Mary, aka 3, and I'd like you to meet Ollie. Ollie is 75 years old. He has memory disorders and lives in a Vanheim Kotti elderly home. So I'd like you to see Ellie's daily schedule. You can see that Ollie's schedule is highly unproductive. It has plenty of idle time. And this is one of the main reasons why Ollie feels bored, lonely, and would rather sleep all the time. When we met Ollie, we found out that he is social. He actually enjoys interacting with people and wants to be active. So I'd like you to meet Sisu. So Sisu is a digital platform that takes user preferences and provides a flexible yet structured timetable that enables the seniors like Ollie to schedule easily activities that actually match their interests and connect them with people they can do this with. It also allows access to service providers and volunteers who are interested in offering care for the elderly and people with memory disorders. It can connect to existing and future devices and infrastructures such as GPS device so as to make the users' mobility safer and thus relieve the family and the user and the caregivers of worrying, so their minds would be eased. I would like you to have a look at Sisu from Ollie's perspective, please.
So we'll do a demo of the mock-up that we did for Sisu. So this is actually how Ollie would see the platform. Here we have the time and the date, so that we're reminded of what time is it and what day is it, because it's actually a scheduling platform. But it would also have the weather information, but it can actually act as subtle visual clues if I would need to know whether it's the day or night, because some people might need that. And in this part would be a reminder of what the next activity would be. And in this area, this could be used by the center, by the home, or by the city to announce activities and events. But this part could also be used to monetize the platform by offering it to service providers so that they can perform targeted marketing to the elders for the services that they provide. But the important thing is this area, which is where Ollie would interact with the system. We have only 3 buttons to make it easy for the elderly to use it. And you can use it by pressing or by interacting with your voice. So let's try interacting with Sisu. Hey, Sisu.
Hello, Ollie. How can I help you?
Maybe I would like to see my schedule for today. Aha. Well, I have a free time, and maybe I would want to schedule an activity. Can you please suggest an activity with me?
What activity would you like to do today?
I feel like going swimming, so swimming it is.
You chose swimming. It seems like your friend Pekka wants to swim too. Would you like to swim with Pekka?
Why not? Yes.
You chose swimming with Pekka.
And then Sisu would summarize my daily, would update my schedule with the choices that I made. And then it would also, this one is a wallpaper that would actually remind me of the activity that I should be actually doing right now. And that's Sisu for you. We can explore also other of the features of the app, but we can do that maybe later on.
As you can see, Sisu empowers the elderly. It helps them to be independent and in control of their schedule and their lives.
Thank you. You would have needed 5 seconds more, but sorry, that's the game. Okay, but now we have some questions.
Thank you. Where does this Pekka come from?
Pekka could be the resident, another resident who uses the system. So I would be using this, and another resident would use this, and so they would be connected with the similar activities. But it can also be a volunteer that would sign up to another provider, say, because we would connect. Remember, the platform, it connects also to the service providers, so, and volunteers. So we can actually partner up with our colleagues there who developed this app for the volunteers, so we can, work together and tap those people who would actually want to help people. So this actually also saves the city, so they don't have to hire more people and just use the volunteers who are free and wants to help.
Okay. Any more questions?
What if there are no volunteers?
If there are no volunteers, then we can use the residents, because that is actually the primary reason why we built the system, because with our interaction with them, it's very difficult. What the current system is, the nurse told us that they do a weekly meeting at the start of the meeting, and they gather everyone and ask them what they want. But where does that data go? At the current, nowhere. So they know the preferences, but there's no platform where that data could be used. And that is our solution. Use this platform so that you integrate your users into the services that you provide them, so that you make sure that the activities are what they actually do. and you connect them with other people who share your same interests within the same home or or outside the community, so they're more involved with other people, thereby expanding their social connection.
More questions? No, okay, thank you. So next, feedback. Feedback.
Thank you. I think that it was really good that you also implemented all these groups together, like the service providers and social connections, volunteers, so on, that they are like in the future from municipality side, it's really important that we do like all the services and so on in cooperation with all sorts of organizations. It's a bit sad that you couldn't tell us, didn't have time to talk about the costs and maybe a little bit more about the that if someone has a service that they provide and the person wants to buy it, who's going to pay for it?
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of minus on your side in that case. And maybe this is also a little bit difficult to use if you have a severe problem with memory, but I think that this is also for the also for the future when we get old, and also for like in the early stage of memory problems. Maybe. Thank you.
Thank you. So next one is group number one. Number one. And which makes the group number 7 is the last but not the least.
Oh no. Let's see. We have some technical difficulties. Yes, of course. Let's take your phone. Well, I'll just leave it here. We don't need that one. So.
Okay, so now we have group number 1. Are you ready? Yes. Excellent. Slow silence, please. And your 5 minutes starts now.
Hello, everyone. I am Roland. This is David, Bobcat, and Tao. We are going to present to you our project after 4 days in Lapinyarvi. So before we proceed, I would wish you all to think of that situation. I know many of us here, we have something that we're passionate when we are doing, we do it with passion. And I also know that we don't want to be disconnected from these things when we get older. So far, our idea is based on the theory of continuity and the activity theory. The theory of continuity states that, people do things and they believe that they believe that what they are doing, for example, you like football at this stage and you would like to continue with football when you are old. When you are old, we are aware that the physiology is not the same compared to when you were young. So therefore, maybe you would want to go with somebody who plays football. Just watching the person playing football gives you happiness. So our idea is to create a meaningful lifestyle. And we integrated these two theories. Successful aging, states that people grow older when they are active. especially when they do things that they are connected with when they were younger. So these are samples of some of the activities from our findings. So assuming that this is an elderly person sitting down in an elderly home, you know, he has nothing doing at this point. What becomes of this individual? He is lonely. At some point, in the long run, they are very negative and they become disconnected and unhappy. So our solution, we thought of a platform that is going to integrate the city of Lapinyarvi and those people in the elderly home suffering from Alzheimer's. So how this works is we have the activity app. A platform connects that to connect the clients to the community. You put in your information, your hobbies, what you would like to do, and you put in your timetable when you are available. Those in the community, at some point, even the youngsters, they would want to go out to do something, but unfortunately, they don't have companions, they don't have somebody to do that activity with. So hopefully these people might sign into this platform and interact with elderly people who are also members in this platform. They can have, because of time, we are not going to demonstrate this part. So we have a sample of activity. You know, most from our findings, 3/4 of the people we interviewed, they like something related to sport. So that's why football is there, boat trip is there, biking. And this, if you press football, it takes you to this page where you can choose. These are the numbers of participants available, and that's when you choose. Let's say you want to go biking. There are 12 members. You click there, then you have their calendars when they are available. You can choose from here. Then the community of Lapinyarvi will then connect to them and then make the arrangement when to meet and take them out to carry on with that activity. So what is the value of our solution?
Yes, I would like to take some time to readdressing the true value of what our idea is. Yes, I do believe that none of us want to be isolated, and none of us want to suffer from loneliness and depression as a result of memory disorder. And through having the conversations with elderly people at the
Okay, so next questions.
So, what makes what makes this application aimed especially? What makes it good for memory people? Instead of, because I see an application that could work for me, for example.
Yeah, we thought of something that is general, that is useful for everyone. Because we want to, people in the community of Lapinyarvi and the people in the elderly home, you know, they also, you have to involve into something that makes you happy. So they will obviously have access to this application. So with people with memory, you know, we thought that, okay, they are in the elderly home, the nurses, at some point, we are aware of the different stages of the diseases. So at some point, depending on the mental state examination, so the nurse responsible might help the person to enter the information and find the necessary places the people are available. So in that sense, it might be, in that sense, we think that because people, the idea is that we want to connect these two people, in quotes, the healthy people and those in the elderly home. So the platform is like a medium to connect both parties. That's the main idea. I don't know. So go on. and also, yes, sir. And also, we believe that if a healthy person, interacts with somebody in the elderly home, because maybe the person wants to play football and the person in the elderly home also likes football. Through the platform, they can get together.
Can I ask a further question? How much did you know what the other groups were working on? Because I think someone was working on a similar app.
Well, personally, we did our interview, our findings. The responses we got is that most of them would want to continue with what they have been doing before. So the idea was to start thinking from that dimension. Gradually, we figured it out that we should come out with an application that will connect both the community of Lab in Yarwe and the people at the elderly home. So that was how the idea came up. And maybe in the course of of course, I knew maybe some people were doing it, but it was already late for us to start thinking of something else.
I think that there are already in Finland these sort of apps, and you have the possibility like to sign yourself up for some activities and be in part of some activity. So did you like explore what is already provided?
With these findings, like in the app, we are going to integrate some of those hobbies that are very common. You have to think about the individual. It's not just an app where we just put whatever we think of. We have to be specific based on our findings. What do you like? I like gardening. What do you like? I like to pick mushroom. All those facts. We have to find out the facts and put them. We don't have to put like whatever we think of.
And in order to add up to what we were saying, we were thinking of like adding additional features to our app. For example, like voice activated. When the patients have difficulties in this kind of typing and choosing and reading what's on the app, we kind of integrate a microphone.
Okay, feedback.
Thank you. I think that maybe you kind of like a little bit lost the idea of designing something for people who have memory problems. I think that there are also in this one quite a lot of choices to make, and I think quite difficult way of using this, which can be a problem if you have problems with memory. But I think that it was good that it was like really individual and based on the activity. And we were just talking here that many of your patients like sports, for also be in some way active in sports, even if you don't have the possibility to do it yourself, but watching it on TV or discussing it with someone has already helped some people with their memory. So in that case, I think that it was a good thing, and also that it was like based on happiness, which we heard on the first day, that is the main thing we all should be working on. And maybe we got a little bit lost on that, and that memory is memory blocking side of this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And next we have group number 7. So number 6. Number 7. Stephen. Ready? Yes, good. So your 5 minutes starts now.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Nina, and here is my team, and welcome to hear our presentation. Here on a board, you can see your life, so as it is. Now please close your eyes and imagine yourself living in a small community where you know everyone and vice versa. You are in doctor's office and you have just diagnosed with incurable disease. How do you feel? Now open your eyes. Do you feel fearless? Here is a curve that represents feelings and emotions people go through after hearing life-changing news. And now meet Kaija. She's 68 years old librarian from a small community, as we just imagined. She has just diagnosed with Alzheimer's in doctor's office, sitting there, hands full of materials. And like any of us here, she would roller coaster along the curve from denial to anger and from fear to frustration. She doesn't want to tell anybody about the disease, about the diagnosis. She wants to stay anonymous. And as she starts Googling information, she finds our service. Fearless. Fearless empowers people to move from frustration to acceptance and get on track with peer support. Our service is designed for this purpose.
So, like my friend had says, in the frustration stage, our patient has the right to choose either be stuck in the water or to find a solution and move on. So that's why we came up with this. After doing some research, we learned that loneliness and boredom is basically the thing that everyone is having this disease. So why don't we show them that they are not alone? Yeah, this is how our service will look like. You can start by signing up with your gender, age, location, and interest. Then you will be directed to a page where you can find thousands of people who have the same situation as you. There you can start sending messages and making friends. There will also be activities and events for you to join with your new friends. And also about the webinar session, we will provide some useful information and interesting story interview from people who have the same situation.
This is designed for people who do not know much about computers, for example, elderly people. So this platform is simple, easy to access, and the difference of this platform compared to Facebook group, for example, is that you can feel safe here. You can be anonymous on your own terms, and you have the right to control your profile. So in the end, we want to tell all the patients with memory disorder that be yourself and be good.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. Why was the location Yorktown?
Sorry, what is good?
Why was the location Yorktown?
It was because this is suitable for any community, any kind. It represents the small community. Yeah, and you can connect from Lapinjärvi with the Joutseno.
Maybe this would have been like a good thing to explain that this is an opportunity to find locations that are similar or something like that. If that was the idea, I don't know.
And it is also that it's not related to a physical place, but in a future sense, there would be people who are accustomed to use web groups, so you can relate to like peers anywhere in Finland.
I will ask the same question as I asked from it was the previous group. What makes it especially good for memory disabled people?
This is actually designed in the stage that you find out that you have the memory disorder, and when you go through all the feelings of anger, fear, and sadness, and probably in a small community, you don't want people to know right away that you have this memory disorder. So there's a huge risk to get isolated. And this one will help you to find information and to find information about the peers, and actually that there are people with similar disorders, with similar interests, and how they have been coping with their life. So in this system, there would be mentors, example like Jouko that we interviewed, who was really like going and had an interest and hobbies. Instead of taking them to physical places telling from their condition, they could have videos on the service, so that people could take sneak peeks, kind of. You don't have to register for that, but you could see what other people with similar memory disorder are doing and how they are continuing their life, giving hope and moving you faster from the denial to the continuing of life.
How this is different than Facebook groups? Are they groups or like everything nowadays?
Yeah, so this is different that this is not just the like social communication. There are other elements also in here, and in here you can be anonymous. You don't have to be on your own like face and name, and you can just like create a profile and be comfortable like determining how much of yourself you wanna expose to this community. And no one will know that you are here. You can only contact person. If you don't want to contact person in your own community, you can start like building your peer group from another places. So it's like you can control how much you want to be involved and how anonymous you want to be.
I would like to add that after you accept like the curve we had here about the stages of the changes that you have in your life, after you accept it and you get moving on, then you are ready to go to the memory association, to physically contact people, to actually put the poster on the wall and say that I'm Kaija and I have a memory disorder and this is what I would like to have as a help for me. But this is designed before that, before people actually can admit it
to the others or even to themselves to help them to cope with the situation.
More questions, or are we going to the feedback? Okay. So,
Yes, thank you. I think that this was a really interesting idea because you have like this really like a really strict focus on you really focused on this really quite a well no but you had this focus you were really focused it wasn't so broad this your concept and I think that this was really interesting maybe not for this is for I think as you said for all sorts of diagnosis, not just for memory problems. But I think in some way, really good idea, and that you could be anonymous, like in a small community. That's a really good idea. Maybe I would have wanted that you were taking this a little bit more further. That this is not only like Suomi Kaksnelia, but this is not Facebook but something else where you could also in some way be anonymous in some discussion group or some other. Maybe you could have linked in some of the services also a little bit more, only not just information in peer groups. Could there be also something else linked to this and in that way a little bit broaden the focus. But I think that in my opinion it was good that you had the tight focus on this in the early stage and on the acceptance. Sometimes I think that it is good that you go through the whole process because it is a process in some way. But I think that the basic idea was really good and interesting. So thank you.
thank you. So, next we have basic groups. You have each group has your own space. So space is what we are using and trying to draw a map. So basically, there's some sort of say group feedback session you can discuss about your feelings and emotions and anger and what was the term there. Yeah. You can talk about that, about the phases. But anyways, and after that, around noon, 12 o'clock, lunch, and we'll be back here at 1 o'clock. But let me try to show my map. Where is the document camera? Okay, document camera. Oh, it doesn't really show up since it's okay. Never mind. So groups 1, 3, 5, 7. What is common with these groups? They are odd. Odd numbers group. Basically, you are using the 4 classrooms what we used on Monday. They are there on that corridor. And then the other groups, let's say 2, 4, and 6 will be on this. 8 will be on another, but 2, 4, and 6 will be on this corridor. Basically on the this side of the building, but anyway, same way. The group numbers are on the door, and I can actually show you that. And that group number 8 is actually on the room we had this Lapinjärvi connection. So it's right there. I will be going there and opening the door. And the jury will be, making their decision within before 1 o'clock at some point. Excellent. Thank you. Niin. Ai joo.
Tätä mä olisin kaivannut kyllä.
Kiitos.